Planet Fitness now, an organization that doesn't even have a squat rack and believes that it's okay to create a hostile environment for members and put women in danger in the locker room. Member Yvette Cormier is taking a stand against the club with a lawsuit, and she joins me with her attorney, Stephen Coleman, right now. Welcome to the show, both of you, Stephen and Yvette. I have followed this story closely as a fitness enthusiast. I lift myself, and I was not really entirely familiar with Planet Fitness. I just knew that everything was purple, and there was something called a lunk alarm. And I never heard anything about their rules for the locker rooms until I heard about your story. And I was just bowled over, Yvette, just to see how first you were treated and how you were essentially shamed for being concerned about your security. When you were in the locker room, you had concerns, and I'm going to ask you to share this with our viewers, because there was a man there with you, not a man dressed as a woman, but a man, a grown man, a big giant grown man, might I add. That would make anybody unnerved. Tell me about that day when you saw this.
When I first walked into the locker room, he was standing with his back toward me and was dressed like a man. There was no second guessing, is this a man? It was a man. And that's why I was so stunned and shocked and just stood there for a minute before I even proceeded to walk around him to go to a locker. And then he turned to walk out, so then I seen his face, and he did have a wig on. It was really short, so from behind it didn't even look like a woman's wig. And I think he maybe had a little bit of blush on, and that was it.
Wow. Did he say anything to you when I mean, because obviously he had to have known that, I mean, you can feel when someone is that uncomfortable and nervous and concerned.
Right. No, he didn't say anything to me, and I moved to the left quickly and around him. But I just stood behind him because I didn't know what he was going to do and basically why he was in there. I think I was just shocked at first, so I just stood there, kind of froze. And then he started turning around, so I moved to the left to go around him, and then he left. I proceeded to throw my stuff in the locker quickly, and then went to the front desk to ask them why there was a man in the locker room, and they proceeded to tell me from there why.
Wow. Did they have anything posted anywhere when you joined the gym? And because I noticed that when I joined the gym that I go to, I didn't see anything like that. And I even went back and asked specifically after your story to see if they had, which they don't allow that. But I mean, it would seem that they would have something posted, especially if there are guests, female guests, just like trying the gym out, thinking about going there. They would have no idea. Was there anything anywhere that was ever like said, like, oh, well, you're going to have to put up with this?
No, nothing at all.
Wow.
And I told him that when I went out to the desk. I said, if I would have known that when I signed this contract, I definitely wouldn't have signed this contract, and I definitely wouldn't have joined this gym.
How did they treat you initially when you brought up this concern?
The man that was talking to me about it when I went out to complain leaned in and whispered and said, we have to allow him in there because that's what he self-identifies himself as, a woman, so he's allowed to use whatever restroom that he wants to use. And that if other women had been complaining before, and they told him then just to change in the changing room, which is basically still in the locker room, so when he comes out he can still see everybody, or I could wait till he's done and then I could go in when he comes out.
And you having no idea of this policy that if someone decides any given day without any sort of proof being offered that they want to identify as a woman that particular day, you have no assurances in the locker room. There's no security. They have access to all of the same areas that you do. How did that make you feel when you were in there and you see this and then you know that it's allowed?
Right. Then after I left that day, after talking to the front desk, I then called corporate, and they reiterated what the front desk had told me. So then I thought I would just go the next few times I go, just start telling women in there that they allow men in this locker room, that I was here Saturday and there was a man in here. So basically I was still in shock. And then every day that I did go in there, I checked all the bathroom stalls and the showers and never put my back to the door so that I could see who was coming and going.